A new year's beginning, new possibilities, opportunities, and clearly challenges. What will that mean for my life, for your life? What if this year, rather than jumping into resolutions or goals, we started by asking ourselves a simple question? What is the vision I have for my life this year? Who is the person I'm going to become over the next 12 months? By starting with the who, we clarify our direction around which everything else comes into focus. A chef would never select ingredients before deciding on what meal is going to be made. A builder doesn't pick out lumber until after finalizing the project design. Yet, year after year, we jump into resolutions and goals before we identify a clear vision for our lives. Let's stop that this year. We provided some freely available tools and resources for you down below, but we thought it might be helpful to see a few examples to get things started. Now, I started creating an annual personal vision 10 years ago, and the process has played a key role in my life every year since. Now, remember, the three examples I'll share are unique to me, my life, not yours. They're not the right answer, they're just the answer that I've pursued. They're just meant to be examples to help get your juices flowing as you develop your own personal vision. Now, a few years ago, I'd come through a year that it was just, things had not moved the way I wanted it to. I was putting in the hours, I was putting in the work, but it seemed like nothing was coming to fruition. And so as I pondered the vision for the coming year, that was sitting right there. I was trying to decide, well, what's going on? Like, how do I create a vision when nothing seems to be working? And then it hit. This idea of cultivating. Basically, the vision, as you can see up there on your screen, it had multiple areas that I was working towards in my life. And then it was a reminder of the same process that the farmer goes through as he or she is not rushing out and expecting the plants to grow the day after they plant them. They do the preparation, they plant, they fertilize, they water, they wait for the different seasons to move through, and then at the right time, things come to fruition. And so this became my vision for that year, and it allowed me to keep things in perspective, not losing sight of the areas that I was looking for growth, not giving up, not saying, the heck with it, it'll never happen, but a constant reminder of continue to water, continue to fertilize, continue to weed, continue to move forward, and in the right time, it'll come together. So that was from a few years ago. Last year's was maybe one of the most fascinating that we've seen in the 10 years that I've been doing this. Those of you who know me, I tend to sprint. I tend to feel like I have a clock ticking in my head all the time, and I need to be getting things done constantly. And for the last year, the vision was to slow that down. It was the year I turned 55, so you can see in the visual there a speed limit sign. And the idea was to get off of that freeway with the speed limit sign and to move on to a dirt road, to slow things down a little bit, to stay focused on being a catalyst, but in a different setting, in a different scenario, and with a different pace. Now, interestingly, and I'm not saying this is magic, I'm not saying this caused us to do this, but we ended up moving last year. We'd been pondering it didn't come out of the blue, but the home we moved to, as you can see from this picture, interestingly, looks very much like the vision. Now again, I'm not saying that caused it, but it's just interesting to see that kind of thing come about as you create a clear vision and you move forward, how things can happen. I've just recently finalized my vision for this coming year. I start this process around Thanksgiving of each year. And as I'm recording this video, it's a couple days after Christmas, and it is now finalized. It's ready to go. So I'm really excited about this. It may mean nothing to you, but again, just to give you some ideas of something that might provide a starting point for you, the big phrase on here is the idea of curious exploration. I want to learn, I want to grow, I want to listen, I want to tune into people that I maybe don't agree with or something I never heard of before, and explore that with curiosity. And so that's the focus of this. You can see there's a cloud and a sunrise coming up, like some new information is going to come throughout the year, and that's going to influence the things that I do and the journey that I take moving forward. Now, this is not just for Brad to sit back in a cave and soak in all this great information. You can see down there in the corner this target, and that's the goal of being a catalyst and having a positive impact in some specific ways. So the C to the X is being a catalyst in those different ways, both for family, friends, my own life, and hopefully the community and the world as a whole. So you can see some other things on there. I won't dig into those details now. Just want to give you a few different ideas. Now, folks, this idea of a vision, it's not new to us. It's not something we came up with. In fact, you know the story Pinocchio, one of the most famous children's stories of all time. It was written in 1881, published in 1883. And you remember how it begins with the "when you wish upon a star." It doesn't matter who you are. Any of us can do this. Any of us can reach out and look forward and say, you know what, that's a goal. It's out of my reach right now. That's the idea of the star. It's out of reach. It's not who you are right now with the vision. It's not saying, well, here's my picture of me. It's saying, this is the person I want to become. You may change it. You may tweak it as you move through the year. That's fine. The wish upon the star, you might identify this star and then over time decide a different star makes more sense that's nearby. But you create that vision. You know where you're heading and you move forward. Are you ready to be a catalyst? It starts with a clear vision.